Hello, dear astrology friends. This is not a monthly horoscope, not a horoscope about a full moon or a new moon, but a weekly horoscope. Yes, and it is actually a horoscope for 2 weeks because I normally do videos about the full moons and the new moons, but this is like a very important time just between, or you could say before, I think that's going to be the title, just before the eclipses. Just before the eclipses start, it is like the most, I think, yeah, I'm sure of that, the most important time of the year is those upcoming, I'm now recording this on the 21st of September. And I'm talking about a period of time between the 21st of September and the 9th of October. That pocket of time is crucial. It is such an interesting, challenging though, but at the same time, liberating energy and revolutionary energy, basically. For those of you amongst you who want radical change and who want to transform their lives. This is it. Also, when people have readings with me and they kind of in their little email or long email, they're stating that they want to change in their lives, and it's like been for that like years and years and years of no change, and all of a sudden they want to change. I want to see 2 transits then that are a good testimony of change. It's a Uranus transit and a Pluto transit. I mean, if you're not finding that, if you can want whatever you want, but if there's a lot of energy around you that has to do with Saturn, and that has to do with slowness and blockages and whatnot, it's not those planets who are doing it, by the way. It's a reflection of your energy. So within, so without, so above, so below, right? I'm using wise words, aren't I? Mrs. Wise today. But anyway, this is a time now where you can make those changes. It's like a portal, so to speak. It's like those energies, the weather forecast, so to speak, is very Plutonian, very Uranian. And when we see that in the heavens, we can enjoy the ride, or we can just let it pass. You know, we are co-creating. But I thought it was an important time to talk about. And so I'm going to do the 12 signs as well, but very shortly I'm going to show you where you can be empowered. Because Pluto is the power planet. Pluto is the energy of empowerment. It's the energy of our biggest fears, but also of that transformation. So I'm going to state for all the signs where your empowerment lies, your biggest fear, but at the same time, the transformation. So what am I talking about actually between the 21st of September and the 9th of October? What's going to happen? Well, as I said, it's just before the eclipse, but actually a lot of people already feel those energies of the eclipses. There's going to be an eclipse on the 14th of October in Libra, the sun and the moon together, and then the south node with it. So which is all about a letting go of something that is no longer useful for us. And that probably has to do with relationships because it's in Libra, but also that has to do with the people pleasing and paying attention to others too much, especially when we neglect our own needs. Now, during this time of the 21st of September and the 9th of October, we're having actually 4 things that I really want to focus on. It's, first of all, in that pocket of time, Mercury is going to get out of its shadow. Venus is going to get out of her shadow. Venus is going to square Uranus for the last time now. Venus also going to trine the North Node. Mars is going to square to Pluto, and Mars is going to square the nodes, square to Pluto, yes, and it's going to oppose the nodes, Mars, and conjoin the nodes. But let's break this down. So for the 12 signs, I don't want to make it too complicated. I'm going to focus on where Pluto is and where the North Node is, because that is our future, our growth, you could say. But now I want to explain this. What is this all about? This is all about, we're not yet out of the shadow of these planets going forwards. Yes, a lot of people feel like things are, picking up again, and we are feeling that we are going forwards with our mind, right? Which is Mercury, with Venus, our values. We know what we want now and we know what we don't want. We have made that reassessment, but still we are not out of that shadow period. For Venus, it's only after the 8th or 9th of October that it's out of its shadow, because it went retrograde on 28 degrees of Leo. So this is now a little bit of a technical, nerdy kind of energy, not energy, but explanation of what's happening. And I'll get back to the interpretation in a minute. But so Venus out of a shadow on the 8th of October, too many dates here, at 28 degrees of Leo. Then it's going to new territory, you could say. Then it's going to explore further. Mercury out of its shadow on the 30th of September, which is good, even more clarity, but it still has to bump into Neptune, this Mercury, in the first week of October. Venus squaring up to Uranus for the last time on the 30th of September. Venus trining the North Node on the 2nd of October. Roundabout those dates, okay? It's not like bang on, it's roundabout. Mars squaring Pluto on the 9th of October. Mars conjoining with the South Node and opposing the North Node on the 4th of October. So you see, it's like that whole period of time, so many things are happening. And Lilith is at the end of Leo. So also in the mix of this Venusian kind of energy. Now, what does it mean, the interpretation of that? Well, it means that whilst we are figuring out what we want and what we don't want, we can liberate ourselves with that for sure. And especially because this Venus makes a beautiful trine with the North Node, we are going to feel that we go towards things that are suited more for ourselves and our own heart. Venus in Leo. But at the same time, in order for making that happen, we will need to do some actions, which is this Mars, which is normally in Libra. So normally it is like, hey, I'm going to be fair here, and I'm going to not make any conflict. That's Mars in Libra. I'm going to be a little bit more doing this, right? If I want to get there, I'm not going to go straight away like Mars in Aries would do. I'll go a little bit like that. But Mars squares Pluto. So you will have to force things if you really want to do that, if you are fearful of it and if it's good for you. You will have to actually transform it if it's the other way around. If you're very compelled towards something, to do something, and it's not good for you, you will have to transform it, right? It's like, and I mean true transformation, not just like changing from one job to another job in the same company. No, I'm talking about the salesman turning into a nurse, right? It's that kind of transformation that we are going through. So either we are very fearful, but we can use Mars Pluto to push through, or either the things that we want to do are not in our best interest, but instead of suppressing it, we transform it. That's basically it. That's what's happening. And in the mix of all this Mars and Venus are very much in a sextile to each other, which is like what we value and how we are going to get what we want. They're working together. There's Venus and Mars, a give and a take. They're working together, which is fine, which is nice. But the thing is, this Mars square Pluto and this Mars with the South Node opposing the North Node, that is crucial here, because Pluto is the furthest planet away. It's always the furthest planet away who's got like the most power, so to speak. And speaking of power, Pluto is all about power. But it's not about being pushy like, I'm doing this for my ego. It's about knowing the difference between I have to push or I have to pull back and transform. That's the crucial thing here. And but definitely, these are times to be, the more conscious you are, the better. That is what this video is all about. It's to bring you consciousness. I mean, you do whatever you want to do. But there's a lot in our hands, for sure. At the same time, there's a lot of karma working out here. Because whenever the nodes are involved, it's karmic. You know, these nodes that are touching Mars, you know, the south node with Mars, it's like the things that we used to do in formal lives. And it's about, you have to go the other way. But that's a very personal thing. So for everyone, that's a personal thing to know what your pattern is that you have to let go of. So it's a lot about Mars and how it's going to be assertive in a healthy way. It's not going to be the doormat. It's not going to let people walk all over it. And it's not going to be too pushy that you don't respect other people's boundaries either. It's being a very, very assertive opportunity here that we have. But again, it's with some stressy aspects here. Okay, let's delve into this and let's have a look at what this is all about. So this is about empowerment and freedom, by the way. Pluto is empowerment, Uranus is freedom. For Aries, this Pluto is at the highest point of your horoscope. So your empowerment lies into career, into work. Either when you are afraid of something, do it, because it's being afraid of your own success, basically. If you are trying to do something that is not good for you and you know it, I mean, the gut feeling, you know it, because you're an Aries, right? It's like instinct. Then transform it. Do something different with it. Do it, turn it into something different when it comes to your career. Of course, a lot of people will say, I don't have a career. Then this is how you want to be seen in the world. All right, it's also about parents. There could be a shift there when it comes to your parents as well. And the North Node is in your sign. So this is all about your needs, dear Aries people. It's all about your needs. Taurians, the power lies in your wisdom. Pluto is in the 9th house. So use your wisdom. Use the higher perspective. Don't look just at this perspective. Broaden it up. Loosen it up, broaden it up. Do the helicopter view. Sit in that balloon and go upwards. Even if you're afraid of it, do it. And you're going to see more. You're going to see more. You're going to see the truth. And that's what it's all about, because the North Node is in your 12th house. So you want to let go of old patterns. You want to, things that you see that are patterns, you want to get rid of them. That's what this purpose is all about. Geminis, this Pluto is in your 8th house. Your power is in the battling of your shadow, dear Geminis. The battling of your own. What is your own shadow? What do you see? Often shadow is what we see in others and we don't like. So pick that out. Pick something out that, whether it is a colleague, whether it is a friend, whether it is your spouse, whatever or whoever it is, pick something out that is bothering you enormously. And look a bit deeper than that. Why is it triggering you so hard? It's telling you something about yourself. If you are so annoyed when people are lazy, for instance, a colleague that is so lazy, maybe you are in the wrong job. Maybe you are doing it all, and maybe your boss is not seeing that. So you have to get out of there. You see, it's that kind of energy. Instead of pointing a finger towards a colleague that is lazy, you can point a finger to yourself, and maybe you should get lazy for once. You see what I mean? It's that particular area of your life where your power is. It's into that knowledge. It could also have to do with money. So that there is something that is shifting that you share with another person, a business partner, a spouse, or a friend, a girlfriend. I mean, not just a friend, but girlfriend, boyfriend, that you share something with them. And the North Node is in your 11th house. So your destiny is your objectives for the future, your friendships, the people that you get along with, to aim and to work with those people towards your new goals. Cancerians, your empowerment lies in your relationships. There could be a relationship that is a bit of a struggle at the moment with Pluto there, a power struggle for sure. So don't let people tell you what to do. Listen to your core, listen to yourself, your own values. And yes, that can have to do with transformation of the current relationship or a new relationship that is way more authentic for you. And focus also on who it is that you want to be in public, the career as well, the growth potential that is surely up there for you. Leos, the 6th house is your empowerment. So your strength is in shifting, transforming your day-to-day life, your work, your health, your wealth is in the health here. And the shifts that you're making here, that you are about to do or keeping on doing, because the shift of the North Node, the future, is in your helicopter view, in seeing things more in perspective, seeing things bigger, but definitely doing something different with your routines, stopping them if they're not good for you, and working them out and exploring when you're afraid of doing them. Virgos, your empowerment is in your heart. The heart, the 5th house, Pluto is there. So this is all about when you're single, for instance, it's about being from a single situation to being not so single. It's like opening up your heart, being vulnerable. And the North Node in your 8th house is about transformation. It's you transforming. Or it could be the other way around, that there is a connection, a love connection that you are fearful of, but that you know that it's the end. You know, Pluto in the 5th house could be that as well. It's certainly your love life is intense at this moment. There's very fated energy around it as well. But focus on that transformation, focus on the authenticity, on the realness, on the North Node in the 8th house, on the vulnerability, and very much being aware of who you will pick out to show your vulnerability. And that will be a challenge for you. Normally it isn't, because you're Virgo, but this Mercury, your ruler, is opposing Neptune as well. So be very, very aware of you being a bit more prone to not see what's in front of you. So use your friends or, your best friends, typically in a new relationship, ask what they feel about it and listen to your friends for once. Librans, this is all about your core. Your empowerment, your strength lies in the nourishment of the self. And there is a transformation. Yes, the North Node is in your 7th house, which is about you relating to others and how you're doing that. It's such a crucial time for you with Mars in your sign. But things need to let go of that are no longer working for you. That has to do with your own personality. And then you will attract new people. Then you will attract new partners if you're single, for instance. But first and foremost, this is about you. This is about empowering the self first and foremost. Your wealth here is in your emotional wealth. Of course, in your health as well, but it's in your emotional health. It's only one person that can give you emotional security, and it is you. Scorpios, this empowerment is in your mind, the day-to-day way of thinking things through. Pluto is in your 3rd house, getting this transformation here. You could really be tempted here to break through when it comes to your mind. And it also has to do with your day-to-day life. So be focused on it, be focused on work, be focused on health and in improving that for sure, because that's where the North Node is in your 6th house. It could be also a transformation of relationships with siblings, with neighbors as well. That if you're afraid of it, you have to push through, you have to stand up for yourself. Or if you're trying to kind of bossy them around, you have to learn not to do that and to let them live their lives. But first and foremost, it's about control of the mind in a healthy way, not in that compulsive way, right? Because your mind is, it's really controlling the mind for you Scorpios. And I think you love it because this is something that you surely want. You surely want to have mind over matter, right? And this is an opportunity. Makes me think of the magician, in the tarot with this configuration here. Sagittarians, your strength is in your worth. It's in your self-worth. It's also in the possessions that you have. The camera that you have, or the phone that you have, the car that you drive, the things that you have, the clothes that you wear. All that a representation of who you truly are. And the transformation of that as well. Money, how you use money, how you spend money. There is like this huge transformation, this huge shift. And the North Node is in the 5th. So it's all about the heart. It's all about following the heart, yes, but with reality. And it's all about your own uniqueness and not so much about, what other people think, friends, like-minded people. What are they going to say? It's about you. It's about your heart. It's about how you express yourself. But also in a very confident way. I think a lot of Sagittarians are really getting that turn with Pluto being so long in the 2nd house. It's like this huge turnaround of validation that you now know it comes from within. I know it's cheesy, but you don't need validation of others. And it makes your life so much more simple if you get it, if you get that. And it seems here that you are getting it. A lot of you could have a lot more money as well with this transformation here, Pluto in the 2nd. Capricorns, it's you. You are transforming. No doubt about it. There's a huge shift here. No doubt about it. And yes, the North Node in the 4th has to do with your emotional security. You're the only one who can give that to yourself. This is about feeling secure. But this is about the transformation. What are you afraid of to let go of your personality? This is huge. This is indeed like you could be indeed the salesman who turns into, someone who's gonna have their own business, for instance. Or, it's a huge shift. And where you are most afraid of, you could do this now. And because you know that what's going to come after that is more authentic, more suiting towards you. And you feel secure now. So it's only when we feel secure that we are going to do things that we are afraid of, right? Otherwise, we won't do them. So now this Pluto here is definitely a call for truthfulness, for authenticity for sure. Aquarians, your power is in the letting go of old patterns. In the it's delving into the unconsciousness, and it's transforming your unconscious energy, your unconsciousness. Pluto in the 12th house is definitely about a lot of patterns that you have had building up in your life that have come to a state now of release. And it's going to help you to become more powerful because you're carrying it along for such a long time that you're fed up with it. And it's a new mindset that you're going towards. With the North Node in your 3rd house, this is all about a new way of thinking. That is very simple, but that is very down to earth. And that is very, you could say also, when it comes to your connections, way more powerful, fresh. There's a freshness in it, an impulsivity, you could almost say, but it's in a good way. It's more enthusiastic around the neighborhood, people, neighbors, siblings, people that are in your neighborhood, to connect with them. There is your really future, but also your strength is in, first and foremost, letting go of those old patterns and being okay with it and transforming, making some new patterns for sure. Last but not least, Pisceans, it's a letting go. The empowerment for you lies is in letting go of old objectives for the future, old hopes and wishes that are no longer suiting you, old friendships that are no longer suiting you. It's a total transformation of that, or a friendship that transforms into something totally different, indeed, from the friend to the lover, from you could say someone who supports you and who's like-minded into a more romantic connection. Could be there as well. There is a little bit of that confusing the last week of September, because Mercury, the ruler of your 7th house of relationships, is opposing Neptune. But after that, you're going to see clarity in relationships for sure. And you're going to feel more confident, because now there is space for new goals for the future. It's almost as if you are actually, you could also meet very powerful friends, very powerful people that help you with transformation, because you are powerfully shifting as well. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing for sure. Having said that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support, dear astrology friends. Keep on supporting, and I see you next time. Bye-bye.